Well, hello, gang. It's a late stream for me again. I know I've been crazy busy all day. I'm only doing about an hour tonight, so if you're watching this on the VOD, this will be a lovely quick one for you, I suppose. It will fill a few hours of your day, or an hour of your day, I suppose. I just want to get through a few games before we get into the Champions League. I will try and finish off the season probably, I say probably over the weekend we'll finish off the season. But let's just get ourselves into the Champions League, do our Champions League business, all that good stuff that we do, for trying to win this big Champions League. To be honest, I think once we've won the Champions League in Oceania, we're probably done in Tahiti. But we've got some tough games coming up, so we'll get through as many of them as we can get through, and hopefully the good times will roll. Hopefully, with our brand new 4-2-3-1 monstrosity that is occurring. Do I want to make any changes? Did I sign new players? Have I forgotten I signed a new player? Let's have a quick old check. Is there anyone missing that shouldn't be missing? Arguably Anderson should be on the left hand side. But he's probably not quite as good at that as Shang Xiaoming will be. Maybe we make him our left winger on the bench though instead of Roland. Let's do that. I know Roland's more versatile, but that's life. Any other changes I want to make? I probably want to put Nasir in goal. And I think we're good. I think we're good to go for the game against Tafana. That's probably the plan. So I'll get that underway. Hopefully Redigolo will be fine to get through the match. That would be lovely. That would be a good time for all of us. We'll see what happens. But yeah, happy days and all that, Happy days. Right, let's get ourselves a win to start off the stream, shall we? That would be lovely. Be lovely to start with a win against Tafana. They are one of the bigger teams in Tahiti. For anyone watching who is maybe new to Tahitian football, as most of us are, they're quite tough to beat. They've proven difficult over the last couple of seasons. So it will be a tough game, but I feel like we're up for it. I mean, they haven't got a giant Chinese winger, so I'd say we're probably in a good place. But they have got a team full of Brazilians, so that's also a problem for them. Or for us, they're top of the league. It's a big old game, but it's a big old game that we can get a big old win from if we get the win. We have just switched this 4-2-3-1 though as well, so the team aren't completely used to it yet, which is proving problematic, but it is what it is. As well, we're on the attack. Good stuff here. Cardoso is running at us, but Redigolo's tracking down. Mario Jose is trying to track back as well. They can both play right back as well, which is probably a little bit helpful when it comes to that tracking back. We are crowding the space, but it's not crowded the space enough, and Tafana are a goal up. Pretty much. Oh, it's disallowed. Good. Good. Excellent. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Hopefully we can learn from that mistake and build on it and get an attack going and score goals, because that's been a problem of late. I don't know if moving Caracas there was a great idea, but we'll see. Leon, welcome. How are you, buds? Jesus, that was close. That was very, very, very close. Hey, Paul, I think I'm going to start with a bell save. Normally starts at the bottom, work up, but fancy doing something different. Fair enough. I don't remember the last time I did a Bilbao save. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've done a Bilbao save. I remember it being really annoying. It's probably more annoying now because it used to be. I don't know why it used to be like this, but if you had the French leagues loaded, you'd get a lot of Basque players through the Bordeaux Academy, but it's probably not the case with the current state of things at Bordeaux. Leo's just finished his 5-season West Ham save, and are you champions of the world? That's the big question. I cannot believe how badly we're defending right now. Cannot believe how badly we are defending right now. To say we've been poor would be an understatement so far. Let's demand more. Let's see if we get to work a bit harder. It is possible I still need to tweak this tactic a bit too, because it is new to us. I am sort of conscious that we are about to go into the Champions League, and I probably want to have something settled and working before we get to the Champions League. Maybe I'll tweak some player roles at half time and kind of use this as a bit of a pre-Champions League friendly. Just, which is silly really, because they're top of the league and we do have to chase them down, but something has to change, and we are not exactly producing large numbers of goals. In fact, we're conceding quite large numbers of goals, which I don't like. Let's berate the boys before half time. Make sure their ears are ringing, because Redigolo shouldn't have got done there. The fact that Redigolo has got done there is ridiculous, to be honest. Not his finest moment in one of our shirts, in a Taravao shirt. But that is half time. That's a fun time, I suppose. What was that? Get your axe here, start playing football. You have not been... I want to say I'm furious with him, but screw it. He's lost confidence. Who cares? Who cares? Everyone else will just tell them that they need to improve. Won 4 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, a Carabao Cup, no Champions League, and lost 2 finals in a row to Man City. That's... We've all been there. We've all had that feeling. Right, Redigolo can play wing. They can both play wing back. Okay, we'll have them both as wing backs. That could work. Karamoko, I have a feeling, is probably better off just being a centre back, which feels counterintuitive with a Gagan, but it is what it is. We've already checked Fernandez. What does Fernandez do best out of position? Holding. All right. I'm not against that, because our wide players do need to track back. We've got a presser there. Mario Jose, you defensive quite well, and I think we'll have you dropping back. That might change things a bit. Calvo is very much a defensive midfielder who can also drop, which could be interesting. Right, Guglino, you're just a winger. You've always just been a winger. Hey, Liam, welcome. We're tweaking the tactic because we are getting slightly battered by Tafana. I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you? I think in that role, I probably want him as a playmaker. I feel like Caracas can do playmaker well. Centre forward out of possession is definitely strong. We'll have... Zhang Xiaoming's a left footer, isn't he? He is, so he can play on the wing. And I think we'll have him track out of possession again. I think if we shove him up there, he should be able to track from that. I've got to do the switchy thing again. Yeah, he should be able to track from there, which is fine. That shouldn't leave us too exposed with Fernandez. And then up top, I think probably we make Eduardo a channel forward and have him as an outlet on the counter. We'll try that. We'll try that second half, because I'm desperately hoping we look like a better side second half. If this works, I'll have to try and remember those changes I just made and stick to it. Hey Simon, welcome in. Welcome in. I know it's a late one, so I'm only doing about an hour tonight. I've had a busy day. I'm knackered, but I wanted to get an hour and at least get us into the Champions League before the weekend. Just felt like the right thing to do. I figure, I'm sure you guys have got school in the morning. I've got to be up early. So, solid hour is fine, it'll do. Got to be up early because I literally only recorded. Geez, we scored a goal. Eduardo Luis has scored a goal. I only recorded tomorrow's Super Green episode at about 8 o'clock. I haven't even edited it yet, so I've got to get up tomorrow reasonably early, edit it so it can go out at 5. It might be a bit late, but we'll see. And then get the rest of my other stuff done. I have sort of executively decided that I am just going to be doing a writing stream if I stream at all tomorrow. And then we'll come back to the Champions League at the weekend because I do have to get some work done on the second book because, strike while the iron's hot and all that nonsense. Anderson can go in there. What's Anderson good at? Oh, actually, now we've got Anderson there. Actually, I think I'm going to leave it like that because that is working. What's Anderson good at? Inside winger. I don't mind if I do. Anderson. Caracas is having a bit of a mare, but we'll allow it. Actually, will we allow it? Should we see if Des can do something for us there? Or who's our best option? Glamorous life for Chris. Yeah, so glamorous. It's recommend it as a vocation for children. Just not mine. Which is ironic, really, because my daughter does do TikTok, and I probably should be slightly more positive towards it as a thing. But also, I know the stress, so, right. We'll take Karamoko off for Sydney, and we'll stick Des on at left back. And hopefully I'll be able to turn it around. What's a rough guess for the next book release date? How long's a piece of string? I wouldn't expect it to be before early summer. It certainly won't be like it comes out next month. Like, it will take me much longer to write than the first book did. The first book took me 24 days, but because so much of it is drawn from my own life, it was just kind of like, transcribing the replay a little bit. Whereas this one is entirely fictitious, so a little bit more thinking, a little bit more plotting, a little bit more work, but I'd like to think I can have the first draft finished by Easter. Then there's all the shuffling and rewriting and fixing and polishing and stuff, so probably June. Probably June is the answer. If it's out sooner, it's out sooner. But it will really be a case of like when it's ready. I have sort of set myself a little goal. I use myself as an editor, to be honest. I've got quite a lot of history in sort of story development. I don't know if I've told the story about. I know it's probably in a blurb somewhere on an Amazon page or something, but I've been writing since I was 12, but because I'm weird, I started off as a screenwriter, so I started off, indeed I haven't added it to the law yet, I'm sure, but I started off as a screenwriter, so I always wanted to be a TV and film writer, and the trouble is, because I don't live in London or Los Angeles or New York, it's an absolute bastard to get into, or to build a career in. I've had a couple of things sell, but nothing that anyone cares about. So I've been writing a long time. I've got quite a good sense of story, so I tend to do my own editing and all that kind of stuff. I do, just for the want of speed, really, I do use AI as a spell check, but I use AI as a spell check primarily because I'm quite dyslexic, and the number of times you'll see spell check pick up or fail, spell check in Word, but obviously GPT knows what it's doing a bit better with that. Pull up that I've typed form instead of from or something. So like it's the bigger things. The bigger things I'm fine with. I think you're going to be an occasional player because you're not very good. Yeah, the number of times I have things like that pop up, but yeah, editing wise, I pretty much just use myself, largely because I'm free. Occasionally, like I will. I say occasionally. On this book, I did send a copy to my sister early of the manuscript, just because my sister is like the ultimate grammar Nazi. Um, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there is that kind of with this second book. Should I publish it myself? Should I have another go at trying to get a lit agent to pick it up? It is a little bit more mainstream, the second book, so certainly much less heavy. But yeah, I'd like to get like 3 or 4 maybe books out this year, if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, I've got about 5 ideas in a notepad, so we'll work through them one at a time. Milton, I probably want to keep you, don't I? I have a sense you're a player I want to keep. I'm reconsidering. What are you going to cost me to keep you? Because if you're going to cost me like £200 a year, then I'll keep you. But 2.5 grand. I think that's going to be a tight push. Yeah. Let's chuck some stuff at him just to see if we can maybe persuade him to stay with. It really annoys me they haven't fixed that bug yet. We'll see if he takes that. He doesn't. Alright, I guess we don't take him. I guess we don't take him. Obviously, when I say as well, like, I started off with a screen when I was 12. Obviously, I wasn't like actually selling anything when I was 12, but like I started writing screenplays. The first thing I ever wrote was an episode of Frasier, a spec episode of Frasier, and you'll be shocked to learn that they weren't buying scripts from 12-year-olds for a show like Frasier, which I know is wild. It's wild, deeply disrespectful, but yeah, that was always sort of the goal. Maybe we'll get there. We'll see. Right, I need to figure out who the next best right back. I think it's done. It is done. I actually need to have a look at this tactic too. So I think we're going to keep Fernandez as a wing back because that's sort of worked. We'll keep Karamoku as just a regular centre back. I quite like double DMs, and I think we'll have Mario Jose on the press and Calvo on the drop. I want to move Shang Sha Ming up there. I think I probably want to put them both up there. I think that's the plan. We'll have them both as wingers because they'll both do that better than anything else. I think we'll use Caracas. Let's not use Caracas as the playmaker. Let's use him as an advanced mid so he can get some goals. Centre forwards. Winger. Tracking there. Ooh, outlet for Tanino could be a dangerous one. And then we'll put Eduardo Luis in the channels and tracking there, and hopefully that will work. We'll have a little scouty through the old team instructions. Out of possession, how's that looking? Bit weak on the right, but in theory we should close the gap. It does have the benefit that it keeps Tanino a little bit more central, oddly, in transition. Which is good, because he is a 10. So, he's a 10 shoehorned in on the right wing, so that should work. I want to look at these outer possessions. I think I want him pressing and both... No, we'll keep. Do we keep Fernandez holding? Yeah, we'll keep him holding. We'll go with that. Right, Jeunes Tahitians are our next victims, or the next people to make victims of us. We'll know in a few minutes which of those things is true. I have a suspicion I know which of those things is true, but let's not hedge our bets. But we will see. We will see. They've got a Baggio playing for them. That's just cheating. He's probably Brazilian. Probably Brazilian. It's okay. Jeunes Tahitian are going to be our victims. That's what I've decided. And then I think after this game, we're in the Champions League. We're in the Champions League group stage. So we're flying to... Is it Vanuatu we've got to fly to for our Champions League group? That's fun. Bit of a trip back to the old roots of the channel, because I think the first or second series I ever did on the channel was in Vanuatu. Oh, Jeunes Tahitian should be there for the taking. The league table isn't pretty, but Jeunes Tahitian should be there for the taking. First, je suis confusé. Oh, there we go. Simon, first, yeah. It was Shepherd United in Vanuatu was my first thing on the channel. I seem to remember a few of the videos had like a random comment from like the Vanuatu tourist board or something would appear. It was really weird. That was not good. I know I got like, when I was sort of tweeting about it at the time to try and like promote the channel and all that kind of stuff that you do. Yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. So, must have been hard to get a ticket this game. Yeah, must have been. Yeah, the audio on those early videos is awful. A, because I didn't know you could clean up background noise. It was not a thing I knew you could do. But also, like, the microphone I was using, like, so that first series was done on a laptop. It was an old laptop at the time, with a microphone I bought off Amazon that cost like £4, like a USB microphone, and it was utter dog shit. But, you know, you got to start somewhere, right? And then I moved to the monstrosity that has been now retired. Used some of my student loan money to buy a proper professional grade microphone that I decided I kind of hated after a while. And I switched back to a slightly better USB mic, and I think it's okay. I don't think it's too bad. I know it's probably a little bit crackly when I'm live, possibly. I don't think it suppresses the background noise quite as well. Oh, Edwin Caracas. But I probably just need to mess with a setting that I don't understand. So it is what it is. I should at some stage sit and like actually watch one of the VODs and try and work out if the audio quality is fine. But I assume someone would have told me by now if it wasn't. So hopefully it's okay. And if it's not, I apologise. Quite frankly, sadly, you cannot fix the past. You can just write books about it. All right, Simon. All right. Have I seen Wrexham made an offer for a player for 19 million quid? I'm not. I was joking. I was sort of hovering in Zealand's stream earlier. And I was sort of half joking that it's just a matter of time before Wrexham realise that they're so close to promotion they'll probably spunk 50, 60 million quid on players in the January window. Put in like bids for Messi and Neymar. That kind of thing. Let's... Oh, Epic wants me to see what's free. Let's see what Epic is saying in the background. Right. Wrexham Siddiqui Sharif. From Angers. They're paying 19 million for a striker from Angers? Fuck me. I often wonder if football managers play enough Football Manager. Because... Ooh. Because everyone knows you don't pay 19 million for players from French clubs that aren't in the top 3. Why is that on my free games list if I can't have it? Fried Chicken Manager, yes please. Oh, it's free from the 29th. Okay, fine. Fine. It got me all excited then. All excited, did Epic. I will have a free copy of Skate though. It does. I will definitely have a free copy of Skate. That's a banger. I don't know if it's going to be as good as like Tony Hawk, but you know, we'll have fun with it at some stage. Anything else here? I definitely won't be getting Hogwarts Legacy. That I can say for sure. Ooh. Oh, it's just the... I was like, they're giving away Rainbow Six Siege for free. I'll have a look at that. And then it was just the weird online version. And I was way less interested. There are some decent looking games on Epic. We'll add that to my list. Infinitely Nicky. Why not? Why not? I only put Epic back on this PC like really recently. The Sims 4 for free. I think I already own The Sims 4, but you know what? I'll put it in my Epic library just in case I don't. But I'm pretty sure I already own Sims 4. Because it's not impossible at some stage you will find me playing Insoy on here as well. Because I do quite enjoy Insoy. I will stop looking at Steam in a second and actually do something fun on FM, but it's got me... I had a pop-up, it got me curious. Your F1 manager from it. Oh! Bonza. Asphalt Legends. It's either going to be great or terrible. It does seem to have a lot of Ferraris or Lambos though, so we'll give that a go as well. Right. Now I've done my freebie shopping from Epic. Good, right. In fact, let's, after this game, let's have a look, see how that fella from Angers has developed in the game, if we can see anything about him at all. It will turn out he's like a 6-time Ballon d'Or winner and they've played a blinder, but I do think 19 million quid for a player from Angers is just too much money. Like, you'd get 2 or 3 better players than that for half the money, I would imagine. Like, the trick is to scout the African players before they leave Africa. Every FM player knows that. Just send old Humphrey to, like, Ivory Coast for a week. I don't know if that'll break the transfer record. What is the championship transfer record? It must. I think it's 15 mil. I think that can't be right. That can't be right. Hang on. So I'm being told by Transfermarkt that the highest fee paid for a player from the Championship is 62 million quid for Romeo Lavia going out of the Championship. What about coming in? What about coming in? Arrivals, only new players, display. The record is 20 million for Sindre Waller Egli going to Ipswich, apparently, this season. There we go. It is in euros, not pounds, but I'm not doing the conversion because I'm not a calculator like. But there we go. So it would likely be a record transfer, which is fine. A lot of pressure on him. But Phil Parkinson is a very good manager, so if he thinks it's worth the money, I would go with his judgment. But I do think there are better options. Almost certainly. No, it won't be a long one tonight, Liam. It's literally going to be like an hour. I'm literally doing like an hour tonight. I'm shattered. I've got to be up early. But, like I said, I wanted to try and at least get us to the Champions League. And maybe we'll play the group games, or a couple of the group games, because they're up from this game onwards. We're in the Champions League. But, yeah, it's going to be a short one. And I was saying that tomorrow, if I'm streaming at all, I'll most likely be writing, and then we'll be back to finish off the season over the weekend. It is possible that after I've done some writing, I might do some skylines for a bit. Because if I'm already in world building mode, I might as well actually build a world, you know? I might even, if the save is in the cloud, I haven't checked on Skylines 1 yet. If the save is in the cloud, I might even pick up where I left off with the Laneville series on the channel. Especially now I've got a PC that can actually run the Skylines at more than 22 frames a second. Because that'd be nice. Like if you watch those videos, the FPS on them is low. Evening, Wool. How's fishing? Hope you're well. We are about to hit the old Champions League. It is a nice day for it. I mean, actually, it's not in Swindon. It's a terrible day for it in Swindon today. It's been absolutely pissing it down all day. It's been horrendous. I went to Tesco earlier and nearly drowned. And Tesco's only a 5-minute walk from my house. Well, it's true, but I try not to drown on my way there. If I drown in Tesco, that's fine, but drowning on the way to Tesco, not so much. But yeah, I've got a as I said, it's going to be a reasonably short stream today because I've got a big old day tomorrow. I've got to be up early. I've got to edit tomorrow's video. It's already recorded, but I've got to edit tomorrow's video to get it up in time. Fingers crossed. I've got to go and visit a couple of bookshops and try and persuade them to stock the book. And then I've got to go back to doing some whoring, and then I've got to do some writing. So, you know, busy one. busy one requiring an early start is the play. Right, we have made it to the Oceania Champions League. And our first game is against Auckland City. Auckland City of New Zealand. Can you imagine? We're going to get to play the big team first. And then we're going to play Ley City. And then we're going to play Tefea. I haven't registered Tenino Guerrero. That was probably really, 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 really stupid. I don't know what Marcos Jose in the starting 11. Although Eduardo Luis could do it. Marcos Jose can be a deep-lying forward, which sort of leaves Caracas to score the goals, but he's been scoring goals last season for us. Mr. Anderson, I think you're going to get the nod on the left instead of Shang Sha Ming. We've got bloody loads of subs for this game. Oh yeah, let's check out the striker from France. Let's do that. Glad you reminded me. Let me pull up his name. Siddiqui Sharif. We don't know a lot about him. But what we do know is pretty tasty. It's pretty tasty. Well, I will say. Looks like he's had some good seasons in game. Some very good seasons in game. That's what I mean as well about paying that for a player from Angers. Like, they have barely been in League One in real life over the last few years. Feels like too much money. Right, I need to add some. Let's get rid of the players who can't play, so we can see the wood for the trees. We'll put Gaglino on the bench. Redigolo is going to start because it'd be really stupid not to start him. Schmidt. Power. I'm guessing one more. Fabian. Why not? Right, I'm going to go back in 2 secs and then we will get into the Champions League. God, welcome. Is there a foreign player in the Tahitian League or the Oceania Champions League? No. Not that I've come across. Most teams in this league would be in trouble if there was, because almost every player in this league except for my team is Brazilian. Kit, I knew that would be your cue to flirt with the chair. I knew that'd happen. Saw it coming. Saw it coming. Hope everyone who has just joined is well. We're playing Auckland in the Champions League, the first game of our Champions League group stage. They are the toughest team we'll play in the group. There are 2 teams from Auckland in the Champions League who are really our biggest challenges, aside from Tafana, I believe, or Venus, whichever of the other Tahiti